just leave it like that. But zoom in, right, you actually just a scale because we are working in 2D space, right? We can actually just scale everything. So like you sort of like the slow camera movement, panning, everything like that. But sometimes, if because now we have different layers, right? I always say why I love to save in different layers. With different layers, right, you can do the zoom in different speed. Like maybe something which you put in as nearer, you can like zoom it fast. You scale it fast, further, everything like that. Let's just maybe I need a new file to demonstrate that. So quickly do again. Okay. So let's say we have this grass in the foreground. And then we have this big ground with this, and we have the 3 layer, which is this. Okay. Okay. Let's just save this one first and make a new file to show you all the zoom. I'm just going to import the file just now, which is here. Okay, when we have different layers, right, we can sort of like scale them in different speed. So like we have this, what is it called, perspective, and then parallax perspective. So the thing is, select everything layer, press S, scale. Like if we scale everything in the same speed, right, everything will just, I mean, like the zooming will be just like, let's put here. The zooming will be in one flat, animate in one flat layer. That so if we scale it in different perspective, like here, this one, because it's closer, right, so it should be faster. So you have this thing. Okay. I'm not sure you all understand what I'm doing here. It's basically when we want to have a parallax effect, right? Always animate them in different speed, like different scale, different position. Like the closer one will be faster, is always. So now the closest object, right, is scale much more faster. So you have this like parallax effect. But our last project, right, is a bit hard to do that because we have like different layers. So like you have to plan properly. Okay, this is for the scaling. Okay, any question? No, I'm just going to move to how to do the sunset rating like that. No, okay. Okay, to do sunset, right, we use color grading and color correction filters. Here, which is you can see, right, it's color correction. But to do that, right, we can either apply that color correction filter, like all the filter which we put directly in the assets, or we can actually just put an adjustment layer. You just layer new adjustment layer, which will be added here. See adjustment layer. It's actually a white solid, but the most important bit is this icon, and then this layer will become an adjustment layer. It's sort of like the but this the Photoshop adjustment layer, and then you adjust everything below, right, will fly with this filter. So if we use that color filter, right, color correction, just now we are using that mm, thin, right, black and white. Everything will become black and white. See, all the layers below will be changed. If we do, if we put the thin, right, in this layer, right, let's say this grass layer, say this one, you only affect this layer. See, it's only this layer. That's why we are using an adjustment layer. It could be one option. You can manually apply all the adjustment layers to all the layers we have, which I usually do. I rarely use one adjustment layer to adjust everything because sometimes in evening, right, we need to have like certain object on the screen to be darker, and then like it's different adjustment. But now we just test with one adjustment layer first. So the first thing you can do, right, is actually this color correction, not 13. I usually use this photo filter. Then like you can have this photo filter, which is the same Photoshop, same in the Photoshop. So now this one is not very nice, but you have to play with all the setting. This is the first thing that we can adjust the colors. The other thing is we have to adjust is actually the levels. So color correction levels or color corrections curves. These two things, right, you can achieve the same thing, but I think for your levels it's easier to use. So what is levels? Levels, right, is actually you can change the contrast and then the darkness, everything like that. Because if you want to do night, right, it's obviously we need to adjust the brightness, everything like that. So okay, so let's reset first. Let's do a evening clouds. The first thing first, maybe I want to change is the overall color. This one is a bit too much. Just use a custom color. This auto filter doesn't work that great. Maybe it's not a good idea to change everything together. Let's just change one by one. Okay, first change the sky first. Because I be adding red here on colorblind, so orange. Change the hue saturation. Become green here. Can't get the color one here. Never mind. Just continue this. Okay, then we just test this color first. Okay, how do we animate the colors like from our original blue sky with this sort of like warm color? Is there's always with two keyframe, right? With this filter, you can see, right, we can change the density or the color. So maybe the density is the most obvious thing we want to change first. So the first keyframe, right, you just click here with 0%, press U, and then maybe in the end we put 100%. So when we scrub through the timeline, right, it's sort of like changing the colors. But now we have to just paste it into the grass also. So when we paste, right, we have to put it in the first frame. We can also like adjust the darkness correction. So I say levels, right? Levels. The levels is the same, right? We can actually put the keyframe here, the histogram. Press U. darker. I'm just going to copy this to filter and paste it to the grass on top, which is this one anyway. So I think and just on this island. This reflection is not changing, right? Because we didn't put in. I can just like copy back all the filter, right? You can just like use your mouse, like, hold down the mouse button and then copy. Make sure it's in the first frame, like your this cursor, and then you can just paste here. I copied the wrong thing. Okay, already copy. So the color is a bit weird, but I'm just showing you all the method. So like this thing, right, is still not in the color we want, right? You can either the particles, right? You can either change the colors in here. See, we can change. We also can add keyframe, or we can just like use the same color filter, which is this one. Just copy frame. The both keyframe is selected. If you do it here and this, right? See, both is highlighted here. And then go back to the particle layer. We can apply multiples filter in one layer. So like this is our particle system, right? So if we paste right, then you should have this warming filter particle on top of it. So in the end, it come warm. So this is the basics of everything. I don't spend time like adjusting on color everything like that. The method is already explained. So a lot of things by keyframe and filters. Like if you install the AE, right, you should have enough filter to play with. If you want to download third-party plugin, right, I think usually people will download this plugin called optical flares, which add lens flare, because this lens flare in AE, right, is just the default. Let's just quickly show you. It's the Photoshop light lens flare, which a lot of people doesn't like. So just quickly. Which is doesn't look so nice. It can be used, but like sometimes people hate this lens flare. The optical flash, right, is something that is used by Makoto Shinkai and then used by a lot of CG people. It's much more nicer than this one. The other one is, I think it's called Trapcord Particular. It's a better particle system than the built-in one. The built-in one, which I use, right, is CC Particle. So these two plugin, you can look into that. I can just quickly type here, Particular, and what is it? Lens. Can't remember what is it. Just not what I mentioned. Lens. Optical flash, yeah, optical flash. Which look a lot nicer, which you can see is that it's obviously better than the built-in one. You can just, but you have to purchase. I don't have it here. I think it's used by Makoto Shinkai. Yeah. See, he used that quite a lot. Even in one of the screenshot I find. Never mind. So far, any question? Any question? No question. I can just continue to share different things. There's a lot of things I can share. So you might be wondering like how to do rain, I think like that. You can either, I mean, like we can either use a particle system. I mean, like, let's delete this. You see right just now when we our particle right is something when we on the flat surface. But what if the particles are dropping down? Then it's like simulate the rain. But there is another filter in here, right? Which straight away give you the rain effects. I think it's in simulation. It's already built in. It's like rainfall. I think maybe it's not very clear, so I need to turn this on. So right, it's straight away you can just like put this filter and then you can make rain. But obviously you have to desaturate the whole thing for a rain effect. So it even I think even have a snow effects like simulations, snowfall.
No, great.
It's not very visible, could be. Hope you can see. It's quite nice the snow effect.
No. Oh my.
So it's like it's just like you just click and then you're done. But you obviously we have to change the saturation and everything. Let's just delete everything here first. Rain.
What? Oh my god, that's magic.
Just going to do the rain. Okay. Do the rain, which we maybe just adjust this one. Saturation. Saturation.
Say this.
But obviously a raining cloud is not like this, so we might need a new painting and like we just turn it off first. Okay, now rain. Delete this one. We'll need the saturation. Okay, the other thing I want to show you all is the blur or everything like that. Because like sometimes when we have rain, right, we should have more fog and blur like that. What we can do is like we can actually the first sometime what I did is this step. We have this main com right. Then let's click continue com. Just drag this main com which is everything here, right? Let's put it here. You duplicate this main com. So we have two layers. And you apply blur on the top one. Effects, the use Gaussian blur first. And then we can use screen mode, I think. Lighten the screen. Screen is a bit the intensity is a bit too much. So you sort of have this haze look. Or you can just use lighten just now. Okay. I haven't adjusted the value properly so that you can see. So, so what about thunder, lightnings, everything like that? Again, it's already in the filters. Let's just drag this one here and maybe not because we put our sky in another com, right? So maybe we have to put it here instead. Put the black layer and effects. I think it's in under simulation. If we can't find right, we can always go here and then like we search from here. Lightning. Noise lightning. So we have this thing here, but we need to change to the blend mode, change to add. Okay. So we have this thing, but it's not animated. So it's right here. You can change different type of like direction. This right to that direction, but I want to stop that thing there. And then maybe conductive stage is that thing. You can animate this one. You press U. Maybe when you want to zoom in this here right, closer to here, you just here. So you expand. I mean like the timeline. So you can zoom in a bit. Put one, and then the direction. Maybe we have to make the direction. Press add keyframe. Press U again. Okay. The beginning maybe should be too slow. Okay. Oh, how nice. Now we have to make it disappear, which is the transform. Press T. Press T. Oh, fade away. Too fast, I guess. Okay, we need to tweak more for the animation, but the idea is roughly like that. So we can actually like Control Shift D. You split into two layers, like cut it here, sort of crop it here, so I can delete this one. So let's move it. So now we have like animate one time. Right? What if we want to reuse, like sort of like reuse? You can just like Control D and put it here. But it will be the same location because we already put a keyframe, so we might need to change that. Let's change the position direction. Origin here, direction here. Now you see why I want to pre-com that sky, right? Because the reflection also like automatically like updates it. But if we pay attention to real world, right, the lightning, there should be a change of like the contrast. So maybe you can change it in this adjustment layer. So when this lightning strike, right, where is it? We want to change the brightness. Where is this? That was yes. Okay, before that, just add the keyframe so it was the normal one. Right. Make it bright. Let's zoom in a bit because the keyframe is have to be very close. Maybe like that. Right here. And get away. Yeah. It looks much more convincing with the flickering. So what I did here just now is like we sort of like these levels and then I make it brighter and then flick to this darker, which is the original, and then bright again, dark, and then that sort of like This one you have to pay attention, I think, and then you'll learn all these things slowly, all these tiny details. And then we have the second thunder, right, which we can just like copy the same keyframe. If you want to make it different also, I advise to make it different, but for now we can just like copy. Just select everything. Copy. And where is the second one? Here. Is it here? Wait, lightning, a bit mistake. Okay, any questions so far? No questions? It's very quiet. Anything you want to see, everything like that? I still have a bit of tips I want to share because now you will be very confusing because you all never use AE, right?
Uh,
I still have a bit of like things I think is quite useful to share. Yeah, I think this session is record already, so you can look at the video. But basically, it's the same. Like you separate your Photoshop layers properly, and then a lot of things is like it's already inside AE. You don't need to have third-party plugins. Like you can just use the one inside here. To do rain, right? You already have the rain filter. To do snow, you have the snow filter, and then you can do one painting, right? Like I paint it in the morning. I usually paint it in the morning setting, and then I can just sort of like use the color grading to change the color here. I think the rain looks kind of okay, it's still usable. But we have to always remember the details like this lightning, right? The flickering of the you have to adjust this thing so it look much more convincing. And then I turn off the cloud, right? With that cloud, right? Because during rain, right, we don't see this cloud like this is the rain, the whole sky will be very bright or thing like that. If you pay attention during raining. If we do this right, I mean like we can still put this cloud, but it looks look less convincing for me. The evening, but sometimes if you feel that like just now right when we do the color grading for the evening right, it doesn't the sky sort of like give this weird pink or purple color right. We can actually just like paint I mean like evening sky and then just replace the sky here. Like you can just like the original sky right, we can animate the alpha value so like it sort of fade away and then we fade in the evening orange sky everything like that. And then the rest right, the grass I think we can just use color grading to adjust it. That's what I did for my other project. Later I can just open and then show you all. Okay, the other thing I want to show right is how to animate the grass. Maybe I can just quickly come. You see my video here, right? How do I animate this? Let's see here. Right? I think it's quite useful. Like a lot of people was asking me
I
how do I
see it.
animate.
I see.
Pardon? Can see right?
I see. Correct.
Yes.
Can't see it. Keep calm and
You see this tree, right? The movement of the tree.
yes.
Okay. How do we do that? Okay, let's quickly. This
Tricky.
one is sort of like it's very simple. You'll be surprised it's how simple to do that. But I'm just going to draw some very ugly shape first.
Is
Because
it using Puppet tool?
you can use the Puppet tool, which is the new AE.
Mm-hmm.
This new AE, I don't know where is it. I didn't really the Puppet tool. I think everyone should try out, but I don't because I'm I've been using this old version for a long time, right? If you notice here, I have another icon which is much more older version. I have like multiple version installed with me. But this method I'm going to show, right, is how I usually did. So let's quickly draw some divs first. Just going to, you can actually duplicate this in After Effects as well, but I'm just going to make sure. Okay, yes, save as fine. Let's quickly go in, which I think this one. This one. Import this plan. Okay. Yeah, it's black now. Put the background, white background. Okay, if you see right the rotation, right, we can like either manually rotate the thing, like, and then add keyframe, everything like that. But that's not what I'm going to do. The first thing first, right, we need to fix that angle of, I mean, the pivot point of the rotation, because now if you rotate, right, you just rotate in this middle. So to do that, right, press A. We have this pivot point. Sorry, we should press Y. So if you select on this layer, right, let's turn off everything. You press Y, right, then you can drag this pivot point to here, like, or maybe outside here. So when we rotate, right, you'll rotate on that point. See, so we have to fix for all the layers. Press Y. Press Y. This layer is here. Press Y. This one. Press Y. Press it here. Then the last one. Press Y. Then now when we rotate, right, we're going to be rotated on that point. So now we have our basics set up. So the next thing I want to do is with the rotation, and let's turn off. Show this layer first. Press R. We have this rotation, right? Press alternate and click here. You'll see you'll come to this scripting part. So when you type vigor, you put 10, 10, right? This vigor is sort of is like a random value things. So we are putting this random rotation on this layer. So like 110 frequency and then like 10 value. I can't remember which one is which one, but let's quickly test. One is frequency, one is the value. So when we do that, right, you will auto animate the thing like it's 10 times per second. So maybe one. Okay, the first, let me just start here. Ego. I think this one is the first one should be the frequency. So now I'm putting one. Maybe it's not clear in the stream, but I put Vigo 1 and then comma times. We can put it like more, like 20 and like that. So if you want it to be slower than 1.5, that means it's like point in 1 second, right? You only like Vigo half the time. So it will be slower. You can even change the value lower. So see, right? So now we have this script, right? We can just like copy this one, Control C, just R, and then like alternate click. You have to alternate click, and then you will show this, or you can just like click here, place it here. You do it for everything. There's more advanced option, but I'm just going to show this way. So now we have everything should be movement. So now this one is step one. We can further improve this movement. The effect we going to use, right, is bending. It's called bend it. Can't remember which one. I think let's try this one first. So you see, right, this bend it filter, there is a start and end. So maybe you have to put the start in here. The end is the end of the tip. This basically is more, it's not just rotation, but it's also bend the graphic. So we want to animate this band value also. So let's click here. And then we can use the same vigor then. So see, right? And after we do that, we can either copy this filter and then paste it to everything. Just paste. Okay, now we have another problem, which is because of this start and end value, right? We have to readjust that. Start here, the end, else it will be cropped. Click on this, end is here, start is here. Okay, sorry. And we should have everything set up. So we have a very fluid motion. So this one is auto animation, sort of like it's one great tools to animate your grass everything, especially for foreground. Any question? Nope. No question. We still have a bit time, I think. I can show you my other project, which I spend more time adjusting, because now I cannot do a very nice thing because be rushing through. Let me get my thumb drive. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, which one I can show you? Okay, this one is my old file. It's quite long ago. The only, I mean, like, for this one, right, the painting I done, right, is in this color. It's a bit slow. Okay, it's in this color, but with all the color grading, everything stuff that I say, right, you can, I mean, like, you can sort of like adjust everything. Let's try to expose everything. How do you use this? So for this, right, I think I can't remember whether yeah, I actually paint different background. You see, right? Actually paint different type of background. Like it's actually different image. That's why like I don't want to spend my time like adjusting. Sometimes it works better, and then like, sometimes this one, right, I add another layers like sort of like masking, right. It's like fade. It's like masking. I do a masking and then I sort of like animate the mask. It move down and then like fade in, so it looks much more how to say real, I guess. And then you see I still use that corner pin, everything. Do you all have anything you want to ask? The car actually is just a 2D image and then I just animate position. The shadow is actually you see right, the tree shadow, right? Let's check. I animate the layers, which is a black and white image like this. I just move them. There's a lot of layers. So on this, right, I can use the multiply mode everything on the. I can use multiply mode and then thin the blue color on here. So and then add a bit of blur for the shadow. So this movement. Anything you want to ask, or you want to know, or you're wondering how to do? Maybe you can figure out now. For character, I think the other thing I can show is the character animation because I'm not a 2D animator, so I tend to like animate them. I think I showed this in the last session. This file. For character, right, you see, right, I actually split them into like different parts. So you can use a new puppet tool or anything like that, but for me, it's like I'm much more used to this method because I was a game programmer and then how last time how 2D games is animate, right? We separate the character like in different part, like, and then we sort of like just like rotate them, right? And then like here, because now it's digital animation, right? The twinning is a bit smooth, and in all this 2D animation, right, they have this concept of like on tools writing like that. That means one they draw frame by frame, right? One frame is like one key frame is like take two frame. So they have to have that feel, right? We you have to like sort of like close everything. You have to use a filter that reduce the frame, the smooth bending of the frame. This one is a tip that I learned online. Let's check whether they use. Where is my guy? Can't even remember where I put them. Sorry. This guy. In here. Put it in this. Yep. It's called a posterized time, anything like that. So with this, right, you sort of have, you see, right, I don't know if it's visible in this stream or not, but you sort of like have this, it's like income a 14 frame rate because our project is in 25 fps, right? When you use this posterized time, right, you sort of like reduce the frame rate for the animation, so you have this a bit of this traditional hand-drawn frame rate. Okay, any question? else I've been thinking what to share. There's a lot of things I can share. You kind of know the process, right? You have to use, then you know it's not that hard to use actually. I actually learned by myself After Effects. Or if you want to learn, you want to go online to see tutorial, right? I think the best AE tutorial is from this guy, Video Call Pilot, which I can just start it here now. It's not about animation, it's CG or anything like that. It's very good tutorial that guys. Like, you can just follow a few to familiar yourself with the interface, everything like that. I also start with his tutorial. Anything else? When there's no, let's just check. You can see right just now I mentioned the particle. See here, it's also the particle. It's the particle. You see the distance, and then you get a glow filter. Just now I forgot to show you. There is a filter in AE, which is the glowing filter. The glowing filter basically make your the glow filter much more brighter, everything like that. See anything and show. Maybe I can just open this file. Let's see, sharing. But I can't remember. Um, where is it? Look. This one is my. You see here, right? I have different scene, and then like inside this scene, right, is the image file. So I separate them into like different compositions. So my main composition doesn't have like too many layers. So you see, look at the tree, right? It's the same things. I have a lot of layers, and then like I still use the the band eating, so like they sort of like have the movement using the script, right? Script, script. But here it's a bit longer because I control everything in one place, everything like that. And then the composition, so I can move them and then pan out. So the camera sort of like can pan up to here. And then which is this one, I think. It's the particle system which I showed you just now in one layer, in one flat layer. So the glow is sort of make it much more brighter. Anything that you want to know? Anything? No? Yes? Some feedback? If you don't want to say anything, you can just type here. Yeah, you can just ask my, I mean, like the last session, you have some, you can discuss like how something can be done, everything like that. To noon to night is the color grading, or because just now, right, I think, let's just look at my file. It's color grading, and then like the sky, I think usually I just like put the night sky, because sometimes color grading is very hard to get the color we want. Maybe where is the file? Maybe this one. Okay, night, right? Where is the night? You see here, right? We have this guy. I have this night sky image, which you see again. I have this corner pin, so it's sort of like movement. And then I have another sky, which is this one. This one have a lot of like clouds. Evening. My one, I think I just like sort of like use a fading. I just transform the alpha value, which is here. I just fade the sky away, so like maybe I need to show you all in a new file the way I did, right? Let's copy this one. Okay, here from here. I just use this one is just a sky. I haven't put a cloud. I just use two different image to show what I'm gonna show. Maybe I can just use the photo. Okay, now I have two photo, right, which I use in the animation. Like I say last time, right, sometimes I even just like use the photo. This one is photo I took some time ago. So how do we change to fit in, like to change the color? Just imagine one of them is night. To do that, right, you have one layer because we have two layer here, right? One is on top, one is below. We just animate the opacity. So press T, we have this opacity. Just click a keyframe here. So now it's 100, right? And then you just move a bit your cursor, and then you just fade away. That's what I did now. Okay, pretty straightforward. Just animate the opacity away. So fade away, and then like, where is my night sky? Okay. Of course, with here you can do the other stuff like the cloud animation. The just now I say the corner pin thing, right? The cloud movement rating. Let's just quickly add so you can see the effect. There is my corner pin here. Corner pin and here. As you left. Okay, corner pin. The distortion is a bit weird, but to get the idea with the animation, it's fading. Right. Any other stuff that you want to ask? You can just type. Let me check whether the water one. I think it's this project. Yep, the water one, right? It's like I don't know why just now it's not working properly. It's the same idea of like I have these animations, but this one I'm not using displacement. I'm just using this thing, right, as an animation straight away. So because I don't have reflection, so I just sort of like made the middle much more brighter. And just now I mentioned about the footage, right? Unfortunately, I think my footage is not linked. Let me check if I have the footage. Okay. For stock footage, right, for office work, I usually go to this site. It's like, what is it called? What is the site? You need to pay you have to purchase. Because I use for office work, so I have some money. I think it's this. Yeah. So if you use a footage, right, it's obviously the result is straight away much more realistic. You can see the footage, right, which I just downloaded this. I think it's this one. Mistake. So I just use this middle part and then I put on top of it. See, with a bit of color correction, I think. I just use classic. Yeah, this color. Yeah, classic color brush. Straight away, no need to do everything. Wait, I, the new version is like so problem. Anything else? Can yeah. That site is called video blog, but you need to pay the stock site. I'm sure you can find a free one. Sometimes people do use like the water video and then the cloud footage just put on top of the animation. We still have a bit time. It's like we start at 3 something or 4. Can't remember. Yeah. It's actually already end long time ago, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. You can ask me. Please try AE. It's very fun, but I think sometimes it's a bit resource hungry, the AE. So if you cannot use also never mind, but still some sharing with you all. I think it's very good for your portfolio if you know a bit of AE, because if you can pick and then you can use AE a bit, it's kind of nice like when you go to interview, right? Tell the guy that interview you, so and then you can show some videos. So I'm sure they will be impressed. Yeah. Yep. I will pass you all the file for you all can do. Yeah, you can ask me. But not Wednesday and Thursday. I have other class during these 2 days. I mean like evening can but tomorrow and Thursday afternoon have class, so maybe I won't be able to answer immediately. You can still ask, but I won't be able to answer immediately when I have class. Yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you.